No, your eyes do not deceive you. You are correct. Carrier Script version 1.0 is out.
Hey guys, Wrench here. Thought I'd do a little bit of an update on the Carrier Script with included Tanker Script. As you can see, we have the Tanker Script now functional. It's still not totally perfect. His waypoint following is still a little janky, but at the very least, we can actually connect and take some fuel. I'm going to fuel up to about 10,000 and we'll call that good. I'm not going to act as though I'm good at this, but at least I can hook up to the tanker and end up getting some fuel out of it, even if it ain't pretty. Okay, there's 10,000.
Abort rejoin.
Alright. Now he will actually go ahead and just continue on his merry way. So essentially, the way that what the script does, well, what DCS does rather, is he'll actually break from his assigned route while refueling you, and then once you're done, he'll go back to his assigned route. That's just kind of how it works. So because some of these waypoints were completed when we started, we can't see all of them through the Combined Arms menu, but there would be one about here and one about right here. So he'll kind of break away from that in order to refuel you. Anyway, there's a couple of new features that we've got, so I'm actually going to have to jump back in another aircraft. Alright, so I did some work on the menus. Namely, these are now group specific, meaning that when you ask for information, not every player connected to the server will get the information. Only players within your group. So if you're creating a mission using this, excuse me, if you're creating a mission using this, you can put each player in a separate group, and then they'll only ever get messages that they ask for. So the BRC is exactly the same. Although I did actually change how the math on that works, where instead of using a fixed value, it uses the magnetic variation of the map that you're actually on, so that will always be accurate. And the courier menu is the one that we actually changed. So now we see Charlie time 44 mics. So what that's telling us is we have 44 minutes until the carrier turns around. I don't particularly feel like sitting through 44 minutes of this, but he'll also predict how long it'll take him. The carrier will predict how long it will take for it to get back to its initial point and turn around if you query while it is returning, if you're using the Charlie time argument. So all of this is internal changes. Everything in the setup is exactly the same. So let's go ahead and jump out of VR now, and we'll take a look at some other information. Okay, so once again I have to apologize for my audio quality. I'm still on some backup equipment here. But basically we can see what's going on. He has this slightly janky route that he follows. It normally won't be that exaggerated, because that was actually his first orbit around the carrier, just because I was trying to get through this relatively quickly. After that, it smooths out a bit, but it's never quite perfect. Anyway, once you call him and connect, he'll then transfer to this nice, smooth, big old orbit. That makes life a whole lot easier for getting connected and staying connected. And then he'll go back to following those waypoints. And again, you can see the little bobbles in there. But right now, we're actually not trying to refuel, so it's not that big a deal. So it looks like he's coming up to a turn now, and we'll see if he manages to take this turn any better now that he's doing a later orbit, although given that he's coming away from this alternative profile here, it might still be a little janky, so we'll see what he does. go ahead and run that just a little faster. And again, this is a DCS problem where all waypoints created by scripts are interpreted as flyover points rather than turning points. So you're just never really going to get something perfectly smooth. So you can see just that little bit of a double back there, not really the end of the world. So I just wanted to show you kind of what that's doing exactly. And we'll have a quick look at anything in the script itself that is worth mentioning. Number one is that I replaced the underscore with a period the way that Myst runs it. That's done for various reasons, and I went ahead and did that as well. So the any missions that you're running, when you update the script, you'll have to update the call, which will basically just consist of changing this, what would be wrench underscore getwind to wrench dot getwind. Not anything huge, just something worth noting. And let me have a look at my changelog, see if there's anything else I want to mention. So again, I mentioned the BRC is now using Magbar. We added more detail to the query reports. Messages are group specific, talked about that. Tanker's working a little bit better, that's good. Oh, we have support for multiple tankers. So now, rather than providing the name of one tanker unit, you supply a table of tanker units. And up at the top in the documentation, there's some details on that. We also changed the tanker's altitude to 6,000 feet, which is a little bit more realistic. It varies based on various conditions where tankers actually are, but 6,000 is a reasonable number to go with. Again, the menu is going to use his call sign now, as you saw Texaco as opposed to the units' names. Oh, there's one worth mentioning. The Lark or Charlie time was changed to be in minutes instead of seconds. So you just put 60 instead of 3,600 to get an hour. Again, playing with the tanker, playing with the tanker. Okay, so that is pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. And I think for the ending of this video, to wrap it up, I'm going to go ahead and attempt a carrier landing, which I have not done in a while. And there's been a lot of updates. So excuses, etc. This is not going to go well.
Here's the way to get kicked out of the Navy. Shadow on the deck is really cool.